In Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 136, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, قُولُوا آمَنَّا بِاللَّهِ. Say, meaning all you believers, you should say, we believe in Allah. وَمَا أُنزِلَ إِلَيْنَا. And what has been sent down to us, meaning the Quran. وَمَا أُنزِلَ إِلَىٰ إِبْرَاهِيمَ وَإِسْمَاعِيلَ وَإِسْحَاقَ وَيَعْقُوبَ وَالْأَسْبَاطِ. And what has been sent down to Ibrahim and Ismail and Ishaq and Yaqub and to the tribes, meaning the other prophets that came to the tribes after them. وَمَا أُوتِيَ مُوسَى وَعِيسَى. And what Prophet Musa and Prophet Isa were given. وَمَا أُوتِيَ النَّبِيُّونَ مِنْ رَبِّهِمْ. And what has been given to the prophets from their Lord. Basically, it mentions so many different prophets and saying, what is the teachings of Islam? We believe in all of these prophets. And then Allah says, لَا نُفَرِّقُ بَيْنَ أَحَدٍ مِّنْهُمْ. We do not differentiate between any of them. Between any of these prophets, we don't make a differentiation between them. Now, what does that mean? The differentiation between the prophets is in two things. In terms of superiority, in terms of which ones are more successful and which ones were less successful, in terms of which ones have a higher status and which ones have a little bit lower status, there's a differentiation. But in terms of when it comes to the message, the core message, there's no differentiating between the core message of the prophets. And then it says, وَنَحْنُ لَهُ مُسْلِمُونَ. And we are Muslims, or we are surrendering to Allah. If we want to understand the core teachings of Islam, and this is one of the things that attracts people to Islam from different religions, it's this idea of لَا نُفَرِّقُ بَيْنَ أَحَدٍ مِّنْهُمْ. We do not differentiate or distinguish between any of them. Because when you're talking to somebody who's a Jew, and they say, well, we believe in all the prophets, we believe in Moses, and we believe in David, and we believe in Solomon, and we believe in Abraham, and we believe in Noah, and all of that stuff, they have their own understanding of what their prophets are. When it comes to Christians in particular, they say specifically that Prophet Jesus, Prophet Isa, had certain divine characteristics and all of these things. And you say, well, wait a minute. What about all the people who came before Prophet Isa? What religion did they follow? How are their sins supposed to be forgiven? How are they supposed to gain salvation? And usually the answer is not a very good answer. Because Islam teaches something very simple. It's a very simple message. That every single prophet was sent by God. Everyone will acknowledge this. Anyone who believes in any prophet is sent by God. Would the prophets be sent with different messages that contradict each other? No. They would all have to come with the same core teachings of beliefs and the same core teachings of morality. And that's why this part of the verse is so powerful. When you're explaining Islam to somebody, and they believe in other prophets, and they've always been confused and say, well, why is it that one prophet teaches this and another prophet teaches something else? This part of the verse, لَا نُفَرِّقُ بَيْنَ أَحَدٍ مِّنْهُمْ, is the core of that answer. And it resonates with a lot of people. Is that the core teachings of every single prophet had to have been the same. Because it's the same God that sent every single one of them. If their teachings are completely different, where one of them is saying you should worship only God, and the other one that comes along says you should worship me, it's a contradiction between the two messages. They could not have been sent by the same God. Something went wrong there. So this is something that we should understand. Allah is teaching us by reminding people of other religions of what differentiates the teachings of Islam from the teachings of other religions. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the wisdom to understand Islam, and may Allah grant us the wisdom to be able to convey the message of Islam in the best of ways. Ameen. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Assalamu alaikum.